How did your June go? I hope all went well. From what I've heard in the comments below, there's been some pretty awful weather up there in the north of the country and up into Scotland. But where we are further down south, the weather has been much kinder, and we've had the first signs of a good harvest. But what will July bring, and what can we do in July? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to the No Dig Norfolk Gardener. And we do send apologies that the jobs for July are a few days late. I normally try to get them out there on the 1st of the month. But as you'll know if you watch our channel regularly, we have only just got back off holiday. Indeed, it is the following day from the last video that we posted. And you can see Poppy is still just as happy to be out here with us once again in the garden after a week away. Now, June has given us some nice harvests and we've just got a taste of what is to come. But July really starts to become an abundant harvest. And there is lots to harvest. But there are also things to sow and things to plant so that we get ready in preparation for much later on in the year and indeed into next year, 2023. So it's always important to be thinking ahead. Now, as usual, you need to be ever vigilant about weeds, because weeds, they take the food and the nutrients away from your vegetables, which they desperately need. Now, in dry summers, and we've had a fairly dry one here, it's not been hugely wet. Sometimes you get less weeds, but don't let that fool you into thinking that they won't be there. And it's really a good idea to look under huge leaves like courgettes. And here we are with a squash. You can see there's a couple of weeds there, so let's have those out. And just behind here, behind the spring onion, I see a bit of oxalis that's coming through, so let's have that out. They'll be steadily growing away if you don't keep your eye on them, so it is really important to keep on top of your weeds. Now, depending on when you sowed and planted your vegetables in the first half of the year, will very much depend on when they harvest. And as your land becomes clear, be sure to have plants ready to succeed what you've just removed. And if you're going to sow direct, to have your seed ready to hand to sow direct. So things like broad beans, these were cut down, couple of weeks ago, and the sprouts have succeeded them. These peas, they're going to have one final pick, which myself and Mrs. W will do a bit later on today, and then these poles will all come out, and we have some brassicas to follow this, some cauliflowers and some cabbages. So what can we be sowing during the month of July? Well, you can sow things like chicory. You'll want to be looking to sow your lettuce seeds for their autumn harvest so that you get a good continuation of lettuces to eat. And then also for us, this will be the last call for July for sowing things like sprouting broccoli, kale, and overwintering cabbages and cauliflower. But do try to get them sown at the very start of the month, because they will need plenty of time to grow and produce over the next few months. Now, what are we going to plant during July? Well, if like us, you've sown some seeds during June, then they will now start to be coming to a stage where they need to go into the ground. And as we said earlier, where you've already had a harvest, is where they're going to go. So down this strip here we had the first lot of calibres that we grew, and then down this strip here was the second wave of calibres that we grew. And you'll probably recognize this by the different colors of the soil, that this was the dig and the no dig trial. So one job I am going to have to do before I plant anything else in this strip, I want to turn this back over to no dig, because as you can see, there are rather a lot of weeds that will soon start to take over if we're not very careful, and that's something that I really don't want. And replacing some of the plants that we've harvested, we sowed some cauliflower, we sowed some cabbages, we've got swede, and then right at the beginning of this month, one of the next jobs that we'll be doing is sowing our kale, which will start to replace some of these as they start to harvest. It is possible also to be sowing your carrots. The ideal time is around midsummer, and you probably saw us do that a couple of 3 videos back, but you can still be sowing them now. They'll just come a little bit later than ours will. But don't leave them too much later than July, otherwise you will be waiting a very long time for those to come. Now we are in the summer, so watering. Watering is really important to plants. They do need water to survive, just in the same way that we do. But water is at its most scarcest at this time of the year, so water things that really do need watering. Now, things like courgettes and squashes, they're mostly water anyway, so they will benefit from being watered. It will help them swell. And you can see, these are the courgettes, they're starting to produce. As I say, ensuring that they don't go without water for too long will help that harvest come along in the same way that will the squash. And it's the same for the runner beans and the French beans. They don't like to go without water for very long either. So ensure that they're adequately watered. Also, if you're growing plenty of salad leaves, they will also benefit from regular watering. Things like your potatoes, as they're starting to get very near to their harvest, so the last 2 to 3 weeks before you're thinking about pulling them up, it's worth watering them to help those tubers get to the maximum size that they can. And then lastly, as we spoke about earlier, we're going to be popping in some succession plantings where the land has become free and available for us to plant things, and it's really worth giving them a good watering in as soon as you plant them to help them settle into their new homes. Also in the greenhouse, you need to keep on top of your watering here. Most of these plants are mostly water. When you cut into them and eat them, they're really juicy, succulent fruits and vegetables that you're going to be eating. A cucumber, it must be something like, must be something like 90% water. And you can see we only filmed yesterday where we took a couple off here, but the others are coming ready really quickly. And of course this greenhouse did receive a really good watering yesterday when we got back from our holiday. But also if the days are really dry and it's really hot, tomatoes also, they need to be watered regularly. Otherwise they can split and then obviously they won't be so nice. And the same goes for the aubergines. If they don't receive regular water, they can do exactly the same thing as the tomatoes. You can probably see from the greenhouse that some of these tomatoes are now starting to on their turn red. So as we now move on to what we're going to harvest during the month, we might as well stay in the greenhouse, because tomatoes, they will now be starting to come ready for a harvest. And as you saw the other day, we've already harvested our first aubergine, and we're already harvesting cucumbers. So keep on top of those. As they become ready, harvest them. You're better to harvest them when they are at the right size, just how you want them, even if you're not ready to use them. And also, while we're in the greenhouse, don't forget to keep on top of your side shooting. And not for everybody, but for us in any case, we like to feed them once a week with our homemade comfrey feed. And look out for that video, because that shall be coming out really soon about how we've made our comfrey feed if you haven't made it before. Or maybe you're thinking about getting a comfrey bush and growing it so that you can make your own comfrey feed, because it is free food that really help these plants develop. Now, if you don't have a comfrey bush and you don't want to make your own feed, then they really benefit from a feed with any tomato feed, or indeed liquid seaweed is often used by people to help these fruit better and produce an abundant harvest. But if you are interested in maybe growing your own comfrey and making your own comfrey feed, which will give you food to feed these plants for free, The best way that you can learn about that is by subscribing to our channel, and you'll be notified whenever we upload a video. As I say, that video's not far away from being released. So what are we going to be harvesting during July? Well, you've got your first early potatoes. In our case, they're starting to go over, which is a natural thing to do, and they will be going over like that because first early potatoes are generally ready for their harvest during June. By the time we get into July, they're running out of steam. Now, you could harvest those and keep those. We choose to keep ours in the ground. We don't see too much problem with slugs, but we're chomping our way through these actually really quite quickly. There's nothing quite like some nice new potatoes. Carrots, they're ready, and we pull them as and when we want them. Also during July, your peas will be coming ready, and a lot of this depends on when you've sowed them, as to when you harvest them. As you know, if you're a regular watcher of our channel, we've already had the first harvest, the first main harvest, and all we need to do now is to take the rest of the peas that weren't ready on that occasion, and then they can come out of the ground and make way for the next planting. Now, I've already talked about the first early potatoes, but second earlies will be coming up for their harvest too. They're ready for harvest during July, usually around the second week of July, depending again on when you planted them. And that's a job that we'll be doing during this week or next, is to get these potatoes up and out of the ground and into their sacks. Also, you'll be finding us coming ready will be any brassicas that you sowed earlier in the year. Remember, they're a half-season crop, so depending on when you did sow them, in our case we sowed them back in February, which is why we've already had a harvest of the Calibres, and then we sowed intermittently every 2 or 3 weeks, which is why we then have harvests that are still coming and not coming all at once. Now, when you do have cabbages, I think I mentioned in the previous video, but do remember that this time of year, June and July, is the time of year when brassicas think about flowering. So if you see any of those starting to go a really light colour and maybe trying to push up from its head, then it's probably thinking about flowering. Also during July, most of your soft fruit will be coming ready for its harvest. If it's not there quite yet, it's not going to be too much longer. And in the case of these red currants, you can see that they're almost there. Most of that bunch is red. We haven't got too many more before they're all red, and then they'll be ready for their harvest. The same will go for the black currants, and of course your gooseberries, and your summer fruiting raspberries. All of those will be ready for harvest at some point during this month. Some things like the raspberries, in our case, they will tip over into the following month, but you can see that they are ready for a harvest now. And then lastly, again, depending very much on when you sowed your seed and planted the plants, garlic will become ready. Most garlic, if it's planted autumn time like our own, it will be ready from late June for now. We also need to harvest this month our remaining shallots. You can see they've all died over. And for us at least, it's not going to be too long before we actually start to harvest the onions. They're swelling up really, really nicely. And I would guesstimate for us that sometime toward the end of July, they will be ready for their harvest. But do keep an eye on them, because as I say, it very much depends on when you sowed them and planted them in the ground. Some people's onions won't come ready until the end of August. And generally they're ready for their harvest when the leaves have turned brown or white, as you can see with the shallots here, and have fallen over. However, if you do need to have the land ready to put something else in, so long as 2/3 of them have fallen over, then they can be ready for their harvest. And actually one thing I can see here, which we'll just show you, keep an eye out for any onions that are starting to bolt. So this one you can see here, it's decided to send up its flower stalk. Yeah, it's no good leaving that in there because the onion will become woody. And indeed, this onion we're going to pull now because there's no benefit to leaving it in the ground. It will just become woody, whereas if we pull it now, Mrs. W can actually use this evening, should she so wish. So like I say, if you find any that have decided to send up their flower stalk, pull them immediately and use them immediately. Now, the other thing I will just quickly mention is that with the onions, of course, we're letting ours go to full term, because what we want to do is to be able to store all of these onions so that we have onions to eat for the next 6 or 7 months. However, if that's not something that you're going to do, then you can pull these onions at any stage that you think they're a good size for you to use. So they're just some of the jobs that we shall be doing during the month of July, and I'm sure you can think of plenty of others. And if you can, do let us know what you'll be doing during the month of July. So it might just trigger our memory into some of the things that we have to do. And we shall see you on the next video.